one really helpful way of framing a huge amount about Bitcoin, this is applicable to all kinds of different ways that you can talk about it, is to insist that it isn't new. So obviously some components of it are new, right? It's software, it's an internet protocol. It relies on all kinds of like mathematics essentially that didn't exist more than 50 years ago. You have to acknowledge that all of this is intrinsic to how it works and to why we hope it'll be successful. But in terms of the consequences of it succeeding, not only do I think it's true, but maybe more importantly, I think it's better rhetoric. Like it's better for convincing people that it's true, that what it will lead to is fundamentally old. Basically, that's probably the simplest way of putting it. It's the undoing of a lot of very modern, awful experiments. So one interesting way of framing this is you'll hear people talk about Bitcoin is only, what is it now, 16 years old, something like that. Fiat, as we know it today, is only about 50 years old. And this is a good thing to draw people's attention to if they aren't as far down the rabbit hole as we are, because my impression, probably everybody has some kind of sample bias in this, but necessarily anecdotally, my impression is that I was going to say no coiners. I'm not sure that's the most polite way to non-Bitcoiners, right? Pre-coiners, we should say. They tend to think of fiat as being kind of eternal, almost. They wouldn't articulate it that way, but they haven't.
My great grandparents used it.
It's completely obfuscated for them how new it really is. And so, to get back to your question, what will come from Bitcoin? This may be another reason that the Venice analogy is appealing. I don't think that much that comes from Bitcoin really is all that new. I mean, there's some elements that are interesting that, again, almost certainly rely on it being software, right? On some or other, it's something that you can extrapolate from, like programmable money. Like there's cool stuff there for sure. But to my mind, by far the most civilizationally, I'm not sure if that's a word. So some of the consequences that are the most important to civilization are really just about undoing fiat. It's about there now being an off-ramp to the horrible, horrible experiment of fiat, such that things can go back to the way they were for all of human history before that.
Mm. And that's actually a really wonderful framing. I haven't even really thought about it. It's kind of unfair, isn't it? The British pound, just to use an example, what I grew up with, it's the same name, but under the hood it's different. And so that's to your point, right? The 50 years or so that we've been off the gold standard in the States filtered straight through because the pound was linked to the US dollar, post-World War II set up. And it's not until you dig in the weeds, it's like, well, hang on. So basically they kept the brand, but they changed the design.
Yeah.
And
it is quite funny too, because I can see the gears turning in your head about what points in time you want to be referring to, that Bitcoiners by and large know the history of fiat like to a T. Like they can recite exactly what happened when. And then I've seen this happen. I've probably done it myself a number of times, again with I'll say pre-coiners rather than no coiners, just how completely bemused they are. One, that this is all true, like they've never heard this information before, but then there's like a meta layer of, but wait a minute, how do you even know this? And you can see their gears turning as well. Like, wait a minute, have I been scammed? Like, yes, you have been scammed. I'm sorry.